just kidding. It wasn't anywhere like it is today.
Right, of course. And everyone in this room right now, raise your hand if your tuition is higher than 15 grand. All right, so everyone, including myself in this room, has tuition higher than 15 grand. I'm working 2 jobs, and it's no longer affordable as it was before, like when you went to college. What are you going to do as president to make tuition more affordable?
Is that affordable for my family? My dad carried millions back.
Well, my mom's working as a janitor.
Yeah.
It's 2 different things.
Okay, let me say a couple things about this, because it's really, it's a great question, and it's complicated. Let me tell you what I think some of the solutions are going forward. Okay, number 1, you should be able to take college credit courses while you're in high school. And we're actually putting money into our budget to make sure the teachers can teach that and the credit is accepted. Very, very important. So you can actually complete most of the first year if you're willing to take these college credit courses. Secondly, we also believe that you should make some choices based on affordability. So in our state, and this is the way it should be in my opinion all across the country, because anything I say I do in Ohio is scalable to the federal level. I think you should be able to go, if you don't have all the money, to a community college for 2 years, and then be able to move on to a 4-year university. That'll cut your costs in half. We're pushing another thing in Ohio right now, which is you can actually go to a community college for 3 years, and then you finish in the 4-year school. Now what is that? How much would that cut your costs? Dramatically cut your costs. And the community colleges do a fantastic job. We also believe in some selected areas that a community college ought to be able to give you a 4-year degree. If you're taking a major that is not offered or very robust in a 4-year school, we think the community college ought to offer it. Now that would dramatically reduce the cost of higher education. So sometimes students pick a school. See, I'm wearing North Face, the brand. Sometimes students pick higher education colleges based on a brand and not based on what their needs are. And then they pay for the fact that they're now picking a brand rather than what fits them. It's all going to change because we're going to get to the point where people aren't going to want to go and ring up $50,000, $60,000, $70,000 worth of debt on the basis of a brand when they can get the same type of education, not quite the same experience, but the same opportunity in the future at a much lower price. Now, in addition to all of that, I believe that our universities and colleges have to become far more efficient. If you take a look at what the exploding costs have been in higher education, they're administrative costs. Just not minding the store and managing their money right and making hard choices. That's been another problem. So when your administrative costs explode, guess who pays it? You do. And I don't think that's right. That requires leadership out of the top officials in higher education. And we don't always see it. We don't always see it. The other thing is there ought to be an effort the minute you walk in the door to get you to graduate on time. And they ought to work with you to make sure you get the courses that you need so you can graduate. And frankly, the ability to graduate in 3 years ought to be provided for you as well. Now, for those who have these high costs, what do we do about it? Well, the first thing we need to do is, I think we can offer businesses incentives to help you pay off your student loans and use it as a recruiting tool to hire you. But secondly, and frankly, this is something that I have an interest in, but I haven't figured it out yet. Maybe some sort of effective community service can help you to retire some of that debt. But for those who have not yet gone to school, I'm urging you to be careful that you're not picking someplace that you cannot afford. Just be careful because you bring up all this debt and it is really tough. And then finally, if we can get some jobs going in this country, in my state we're up 385,000 jobs and our wages are growing faster than the national average. And people are optimistic about the future. And the kind of companies that we now have, how many of you would like to go to work for Amazon? They've located their cloud computing in Ohio. You know what? Some of these companies are not investing in America. These higher education costs are so darn tough. And I've outlined some of the things that I think we can do. I think they're practical, and I think they are doable. So that's a good question. But here's what I'm going to tell you. When you go back to your school, go back and see the president of the university. Go and see him and ask him, or her, and ask him, what are you doing to reduce costs here? I want to close with one final story.